call-in sports show on Talking Traditional Sports, Esports, and Gaming. We'll take your phone calls here live here on a Tuesday night, 877-853-5247, meeting ID Esports Extra. That is 377-678-9872. Hit the pound button twice to join the show. Once again, 877-853-5247, meeting ID Esports Extra. Press the pound button twice to join the show. Larry Ridley here, a little NBC Sports, a little SNY TV, a little Madden NFL, a little NBA 2K League. Got the broskies today, man. We can do a little 4-on-4. Probably couldn't take anybody out in the at the Y. We played 5-on-5 because we all old and we all short. What's up? And well, at least not A Willie. He ain't that short.
For this game, I'm only 6'1", man.
Yeah. There was about 6 feet. There was about 6'1", maybe something like that.
6 foot.
6 foot. Yeah, I was about to say I'm 5'10". Yeah, that's all right. And then we got the pipsqueak. OG, where you at? Where you coming in at?
Dayton, Ohio, man. Dayton, Ohio. But it's all about Brooklyn today. Like, we got to get the show done. So I can go check out my net.
Yes, I'm very aware of the clock. We ain't messing around today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Durant, real quick. Karnowski, Bedford, Iverson, right?
No. Canarsie, Brooklyn, and the other part of Brooklyn is Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Got it. Okay, Park Slope. Right?
Park Slope is another place. But
Gettysburg, right?
No.
What
you talking about Williamsburg?
Yeah, Williamsburg.
Gettysburg is a popular street in my hometown.
the Williamsburg address. No, that's the Gettysburg address. Hey, Willie, pay attention. Hey, Willie, over here.
Let's get it. I got to set up the game.
Hey, Willie, why you got to look at the games? You can't read about it, as my boy E40 would used to say. Read about it.
We got to watch these, man.
You got what you got to watch? Tell me the games.
We got to watch these. We got a bunch of them, man. Of course, the NBA. We got college ones. I got to watch these.
You watching college games already like that?
Yes, I am. I am.
Do you have
yes,
no
sir.
life? You have zero life, dude.
You're right. I won't fight that.
I need to talk to the boss. Like, hey, Willie got to take you out, Siobhan. Like, what was he doing? Watching games?
Playing any games in this pandemic, man. In the words of since we had a recent versus battle, man. You know, like you said, I have no life. What Too Short say? Don't fight the feeling.
Don't fight the feeling.
He say a lot of things.
You know, shout out to Rapid Forte as well.
Yeah, right. Don't make me none. What's up, OG? What were you about to say?
I was about to say Too Short say a lot of things. I was wondering what A Willie was about to say.
Hey, you already know. There's a girl I know. Her name is Betty. Straight to the head, just rocking steady.
Yeah. Y'all know I'm only gonna quote getting it.
Okay, and real quick. Anybody else got a little Too Short round? Real quick. 5 seconds. Anybody?
I don't.
No, okay. You guys are lame. All right, let's get started. We'll talk.
I couldn't think of no clean ones.
Listen to getting it.
All right. Life is too short, guys. It is definitely for sure. We're talking NBA opening night. We'll get into the best wide receiver ever conversation going on with two of the three best wide receivers. I think we can all agree. We'll sort of rank that. And I think we're all going to be in agreement on it. But I'm going to make a case for one of them. The Patriots missed the playoffs first time since I was there in 2008 when they did not have Tom Brady, still won 11-5 and did not make the playoffs. First 11-5 team not to make the playoffs in like 15, 20 years. They didn't make it in 08. That was the Dolphins year that year. Jets win, and actually the fans lost. So we'll talk about that. College football playoff, we'll get into that. It's set now. Notre Dame. We'll talk about them. USA basketball national team. Big win this weekend. What was it? North America and like Central America, right? Not even damn South America, right? Just North America, yeah. Central America. Okay. Looking good. And the FIBA pulled it out. 3 close games, though. One of those games, they were beating the hell out of somebody. Was it OG, Coach K? Was it Croatia? They were beating the hell out of somebody like 69-6.
Yeah, I saw, what was it, 69-6?
69-6. And that was like mid-third quarter. So
throw in the towel.
Do that down. Don't you do it.
Okay, you knocked him down. Won't you try knocking me down? We'll get into some of that. Compete Forever on Black News Channel. Coach K, 30 episodes in. Where the hell is 30? Episode 30 at Coach K. Is it turned in yet?
It's on the way. I got you.
Oh, it's coming. Okay.
All right. Got you. It's heat it up.
All right. He don't want no money, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're dealing with here at Compete Forever. Coach K.
I do it for the honor.
Free money. He doesn't even want it. Yeah, we ain't doing a damn thing for the honor. Don't let him lie to y'all like that. NBA opening. I got 4 kids, man.
CA said it's all for the money.
hey, Willie, I ain't got 4 kids. I got 4 kids. NBA opening night. So we got Lakers and Clippers playing tonight at 10 o'clock, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Right now, we got the Nets, Brooklyn Nets, and the Dubs right now. Guys, what are your thoughts here going into the season? Are we buying Brooklyn right now, which is the talk, especially in New York City right now? Because the damn ain't sure for the Knicks. The Knicks are boring. They're young. We don't even want to talk about them right now. But the Brooklyn Nets, for the first time, probably since 2002, 2003, they are legit contenders. Are you buying it? And how good do you think they'll be this year? We've talked about this, Willie. What's a successful season? I'm still sticking to that. It's NBA Finals. I don't want to hear second round. I don't want to hear conference finals. Well, they didn't go that far last year. Man, you got 2 of the top 10 to 15 players in the league. You better go to the damn finals. Will they get there?
I think they will. They're tough. To your point, LL, I think they're even more legit, and this is taking nothing away from the great Jason Kidd and Kenyon Martin. They're more legit than 2002, 2003 because they weren't going to beat the Lakers or the Spurs, right? So, this team is legit. And to your point, I think the biggest thing I'm looking for with this team is we talk about situations a lot. And we talk about that fine line when you are a young player and you're trying to establish yourself. Kyle Kuzma's in this situation, right? Just got broke off.
Yeah,
right.
4 years,
just got paid.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in this situation when you were playing with 2 of the top 15 players in the world. You have to figure out, okay, where do I stay in my lane and where do I assert myself? So what I'm looking for the Nets, I'm not really looking for KD and Kyrie in terms of cohesiveness or for them to get off because they're going to do that anyway. But if you're Karis LeVert, if you're Jared Allen, if you're those guys, if you're Joe Harris, when you got to know, you got to remain aggressive, even though you have to make sure that you defer to those dudes. You also have to be aggressive as well and don't let them buffalo you out of being a basketball player. Same with Spencer Dinwiddie, because those guys got to show up if this Nets team if they want to do what we all think they can do is go to the finals at the very least.
Yeah. What about Gerald LeVert?
Casanova.
All from Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio players. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. And also, LL, I want to say this. You reminded me with your zip up over there, man. Shout out Markel Foch. Shout out Jonathan Isaac on getting broke off as well, man. Because those guys have been through a lot and they still got their money. So shout out to those guys, man.
Good for Orlando Magic staying by those guys. So good stuff there. Shout out to Joel Glass and the other good folks down there with the Magic. OG, your team. You draw a paycheck. It says Brooklyn Nets on it. What does a successful season? Hey, man, thank God, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Curtis family need it.
I mean, I can't help but to think finals. I mean, getting to the finals because I don't know. I mean, just legitimately, I think that with KD and Kyrie back, and with the supporting cast and it sounds funny to say supporting cast because these players have held it down for the last 2 years and making the playoffs, even though we were lower seeds. But still. So I think they're more ready. Mm-hmm. They're battle tested, and I really like what Willie said because that's the biggest thing for me is like for Dinwiddie, LeVert, Joey Buckets, like don't be in defer mode. Like be ready for your time to shine, even though Kyrie and KD is out there. And I think we really can be unstoppable in the East. I think we're gonna get some teams in the West run, man. Watching KD, like it's like nostalgic right now because we haven't seen it. It seems like it seemed like it's been longer than what it has been, but he's looking really good. And really, when you talk about KD and athleticism, you think about the quick first step. If he has that and can explode, and pick his spots, it's gonna be it's gonna be really tough.
I think about that game against Boston, man. He had everything. He had a block, had the dunk in the lane, had the pull up working. D-Dubs, what are you expecting from Kevin Durant? I mean, look, he hasn't played in some 500 plus days. It's been a year and a half pretty much since we last saw him in June of 2019. Are the expectations a little too high for him, or we're expecting to see the Durantula, the Grim Reaper out there?
Yeah, I was like checking the score and stuff, and they're right up. Right now, they're up 23-9, and it was 18-8 at one point, and Durant had 10 points out of the 18. So far, so good with him. But
look at this smile on OG face. You can tell look out. He's like a little kid. Like, I've been waiting for this all my life.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah,
you don't get out of here on time, man.
I will say this, man. In this city, it's not about how you start; it's how you finish.
True that.
So I'm not gonna get overjoyed in November, December. I want to see where you're at come May, going into if they end the season in June, wherever they're gonna end the season. Where you're at. Everyone's saying finals, and here in this city, that's what we expect. We want to have a parade, but you're still dealing with a new coach. Two players that haven't played together, cohesiveness means something. So if they can make it to the conference finals, I'd be okay with that for their first year. But eventually, yes, I expect a title from them. They can stay together, stay healthy, and come together as a unit, as a full team. But you still got a lot of new parts going on right now. You said
you expect the title. Are you going that far? Because that's what I'm going to ask.
I'm not talking about this year, though.
Well, then when?
I just don't want to put that label on them now.
Why?
Because they have a new coach.
And?
Two players that not really played together. Cohesiveness.
Tampa Bay Bucks, they ain't done a damn thing.
Exactly.
And they got Tom Brady. Expectations.
Okay, so they can get bounced in. They can get bounced in the first round.
Could. I said, what's going to happen, bro? I didn't say could. What's going to happen? You're not paid to tell me what we all know. We know 2 + 2 is 4.
I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to give,
Well, what's
but Derwin, you know what? I hear that, but like the funny thing about it was like, in preseason, the Nets was looking really good. Yeah. And all I kept hearing was like, everybody tell, oh man, ain't nothing but preseason, ain't that? Well, sure. If this how they looking at preseason, what about when they really get to rolling? Like, I mean, because it wasn't even looking close. I mean,
well, the Knicks look good in preseason too, and I had to pump the brakes on SNY all last week. Like, stop, guys, stop this, don't do it.
Okay, well, the only reason why I'm really saying that about the Nets is because we got 2 superstars coming off an injury.
Okay, well, if it's that damn good, then you should expect. Look, man, we are the class of the East. Can we beat the Lakers in 7 games? We got just as much damn talent. When is somebody going to step up to this plate here and say, damn it, it's the Nets' time. Let's go. We built this. We paid for this. We got a good core. We got 2 superstars. We should win the damn thing.
They're not in the league by themselves. Isn't there a team in Boston? Isn't there a team in Toronto? Those are good teams, too.
But here what expectations are. People were saying last year, LeBron and the Lakers, they're going to win it, right?
And I'm here to say temper expectations.
Okay, I'm with you, by the way, but
it's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
I know, but people were sprinting to the Lakers winning it all out. They were the favorites.
They had the so-called king.
They still are. Like,
they still are. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Well,
it wouldn't shock me though if the Nets beat them.
I mean, I'm riding with BK to the end, so it's like, I mean, no. I'll tell you this though.
You're not saying it with your chest though.
Because it's one key thing, and I want to see who all agree. It's one key thing to me with Brooklyn, like the interior, like our bigs, like they gotta step up. Like, I mean,
you got DeAndre Jordan, you got the Fro, come on, dude. They're talking about interior. Look at my squad. That's what's holding us back.
DeAndre,
you got 2 guys. They can play.
He don't let he don't go the distance no more like he used to. And Jared, I like
guy. Give me 15 to 18 minutes, dog. Jared,
they got to be effective 15 to 18 minutes though. Like
still a 7-footer. Like, I mean,
LA keep the big they keep them coming, man.
Like, not anymore.
Well, you still got Gasol, you got Montrezl Harrell. They got the scrappers and the bang like that. That's effective. Like I think that's really the key ingredient. Even to last year when we talked about it, when JaVale played his part, beating people up on the glass and stuff like that, giving them extra scoring opportunities. And the same with Dwight Howard. I think people really undervalued Dwight Howard during that time because he played well. When he was in too, I mean, as far as being that ultra JYD, I mean, so that's the only thing we missing. I even been saying that for a while. We got guards, we got slashers, we got shooters, but
that means y'all got every damn thing. Hey Willie,
we need some bangers. We need some bangers though, man.
Like, hey Willie, we can't let him do this. We can't let him, dude. You got a damn fire ass squad, dude. We're not gonna do this, guys, and pick apart. Every team has a ward or two, right? My squad, that's one thing we missing. We ain't got no bigs. You get Boston a big, and I'll take us in the East. But we don't have that. So we gotta fight with whatever we got. Hey, Willie, there's a lot of excuse making. Is anybody gonna step up here and say the Nets, they can win this damn thing? The Lakers, they got issues too. Can they shoot? Can they do this? Can they blah, 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 blah? And what happened? They won in 5 or 6. I mean, come on, stop it. Can they beat the Lakers? Can they beat the Lakers on a 7-game series?
It would not shock me if, of course, I picked the Lakers, but it would not shock me if the Nets do it because, again, with the depth that they have, with those, if they can incorporate that, if they can incorporate that with that depth, if they can get that going, because the other thing to what OG was saying, here's where the Nets have to make sure that they really get those bigs and make sure they feel like they're a big part of the game. Let's go back. Let's take a page out of the Bulls book. When they had Cartwright, we knew that the first play of the game was going to Bill Cartwright every single time. The Bulls scripted that, and because it made him feel like he was a part of it. So now he rebounds. Now he hedges on defense. Now he blocks shots. Now he runs the floor. He does all that. The Nets are so stacked on the perimeter that those guys got to make sure that they make a point of getting those dudes some touches, whether they're running the floor, whether Jared Allen is posted up. You got to give them some touches to make him feel good, right? So they do have to do that because if they get so perimeter oriented and they get to the point where people are just standing and watching the show, they make themselves easy to guard. That was Golden State's problem. With Kevin Durant, people would say, okay, we can beat them if we get them to play hero ball. So they got to incorporate those dudes. They have to do that. But it wouldn't shock me if they beat the Lakers. It would not, because they are so deep. And they have a good combination of veterans and youth.
Exactly. Now, this roster, Jen, I know we're trying to pick it apart, but your roster, it's probably 1 or 2 in the league right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, can you pick it apart? Sure, but it's 1 or 2 in the league. Real quickly, any concern about health? I think if they don't win it, it's going to be because of health.
Kyrie's health.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, OG.
I was just saying. I mean, Kyrie. I mean, he's great when he's on the court playing. I mean,
and he's the guy I'm worried about.
Yeah, it's just you don't always know how many games you're gonna get.
Yeah. So to you all's point, like not in terms of star power, but in terms of depth, the point guard position is as deep as it's ever been in the history of the NBA. So there are no off nights at that position. So, people are saying, well, can this guy guard this guy? Can that guy guard that guy? The truth is none of them can guard any of them. And because there aren't any off nights.
When they're on, yeah.
Right? Because the expectation with the depth at that position, the expectation is for all of these guys to be able to get it in, and they all can. So with that being said, that wear and tear, that's why I was saying when you all were talking about Kyrie's health, that wear and tear, that's not his fault. That position is tough, man.
Cool. D-Dubs, real quickly. 65 wins for these guys this year?
Yeah.
65 plus?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they get it. I don't think they get it. I don't. I don't
think
they do.
65?
No, I don't. Mm-mm. But that's my over under. Hey Willie, you going over under?
Hold on, are we even playing 82?
No, that's right. They're not playing 82.
They're
They're playing 60. What are they playing? 60, 72.
That'd be a hell of a record to get.
How many games are they playing this year? 72.
72.
Okay. So
no, they're not getting
60. I guess I'd go 60.
That's still a lot of wins.
That's
a lot of wins.
I'm going. I guess 55. 55. I need to.
Yeah.
55.
I'll tell you the one thing we're going to do if we don't do anything else. We're going to score the ball. Like,
we're going to score the ball.
That's the big thing about it with Brooklyn, right? They're going to score the ball. Like, to beat them, you're going to have to be able to score the ball. Like, because they just deep. Like, even with the second unit, like, you still getting scoring. I mean, Jeff Green. I mean, you're getting a lot of productive minutes with the other units.
You got a guy that dropped 50 coming off the bench. You got one of the best three-point shooters in the league coming off the bench. You got an active big coming off the bench. That's what I'm like, can we just stop with the excuse making? I know they're not used to it. Brooklyn is good. It's a really fact good. In 2020. It's a freaking fact.
It's the night preseason.
End of the first quarter is 36-17.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just own it, man. That's like me being in Boston. Like, I don't know. The Patriots, man, I don't know. It's like Ridley. Y'all been the non-Super Bowls in 18 years, dog. Stop it. Not playing underdog. No one cares. Stop it. So I just want one of y'all to say, look, we got expectations, and yeah, we're going to freaking meet them. You know, that's I guess what I'm waiting to hear, and I haven't heard it all night. So.
What do you mean? Yeah, we said the finals. Yeah,
but it's been hedging. Like, no, they should win it. They should win it,
good, man.
Exactly. Okay. We'll go to the NFL. Good stuff. I just want to bust OG's balls a little bit. You know, and you can't take none away from them. And it is what it is. They are the kings of New York right now. You know, they are exciting right now, and it is what it is. It is.
OG, you got to pop your collar, man. We just had.
I know, right? That's it, yeah. like right now, would I take them over Boston? Hell yeah. Over Milwaukee? Sure. Miami? Hell yeah. Over Toronto? Of course. Indiana? Yep. I mean, Philly? Work in progress. I don't even know what I'm going to get from those guys. I do think that Philly's the one team. I've always felt like Philly's that one team. If they could just freaking figure it out, they got as much talent as Brooklyn, but I don't know if they can figure it out.
Experience is key.
Yeah.
And they got the one guy that can really put them in a hole too. You know, with Embiid. Of course, he's the X factor in all those matchups. NFL best wide receiver. I guess you guys saw this with Straight Cash Homie. That would be Randy Moss, ran West Virginia, and Jerry Rice from Mississippi Valley State in the Delta. Down there in Mississippi, Itabena. Him and Willie Totten was the satellite down there. So Randy Moss was on T.O.'s podcast, and he said, I'll take me first. And I think T.O. second, and he said, Jerry Rice was third or fourth. Of course, Jerry's been clapping back with rings and pictures and things of that nature. I'm going to ask you this way, guys. Look, Jerry Rice is the greatest of all time at the receiver position. But who is the better talent?
Moss.
It's just like Brady, right? Brady's the most accomplished, but who's the greater talent? So if you had to take one guy for one game, who would you take?
Moss.
I think I'm going to take Moss. And I think Rice is way more accomplished than Randy Moss. But Randy Moss
played longer.
Yeah. Everything's better. All the numbers are.
He played 17 years.
I ain't even take numbers out. I ain't even talk. I mean, you said we talking about talent.
3 Super Bowls, Randy Moss didn't win it.
Yeah, but he played on Randy Moss didn't play on the kind of teams that Rice played on.
He played on the greatest damn team never to win a Super Bowl. And if they would have won it, they would have been the greatest.
One year, they had a great offensive year.
They were
the Vikings when they got beat by the Falcons.
2009, they were good. 2010, they were good until they got rid of his ass.
That's nowhere near what Rice was on with Joe
Montana. Not
nowhere near.
Well, he was on a 15-1 Minnesota Viking team that.
1 year.
I just gave you 3 examples.
We're not gonna. I'm not gonna do that.
No, I'm not saying every year, but Randy Moss played on at least 3 or 4 really good teams. He went to the Super Bowl twice, dog. Twice.
Who went to the Super Bowl twice?
Hold on. I just.
What happened?
My.
You're falling apart, man. Get it together.
Falling apart. Oh boy.
You got that spirit of knocking stuff down, man.
You okay? You all right, man?
Get him, D.
He's falling apart.
Okay. Longevity, yes. Jerry Rice played a lot longer than Randy Moss. What, 4 or 5 years, maybe 4, 5, 6 years? was like 17, 18, something like that. To like, no, Rice played almost 20 years. Randy Moss played about 14, somewhere around. It's
Yeah,
about 5 years more,
it's a 7-year difference, I think.
something like that. I'll look it up too. I'll correct it right now. But what I'm saying is Randy Moss played on a bunch of really good teams. Jerry Rice, of those, say 20 years, how many great teams did he play on? Probably about 7 or 8. How many great teams did Randy Moss play on? Probably about 5 or 6, 4, 5 or 6. So it's not that far off. Rice, they won when they got to the big dance. They won. I just gave you 4 examples of 4 really good teams he was on. The gag, probably 5, because that Niners team, they lost 2 in the Super Bowl. He played on 5 really good teams. Jerry Rice played on about 6 or 7.
But this is the thing. We start getting off track when we start talking about teams. When we're talking about the individual
players,
talent.
exactly.
Like, like that's when you look at. I mean, of course, when I was a kid growing up, it was Jerry Rice. I mean, was he the greatest in his? I always go by eras. He was the greatest in his era. But Moss, when he came on the scene, it was unlike anything we had seen. Like, I mean, even now to this day, when you catch something over somebody, I don't care if it's if you're just playing around and throwing some clothes around and catch it over. You talking about you got Moss. Like, it was kids that I was coaching a few years ago that was saying that. I mean, Moss, I think he really like revolutionized the position, like from speed to height, the hands, like everything. Like, I mean, it was just Moss time. Like, I mean, so I'm taking Moss at the end of the day. And in 1 game, 5 games, 10 games, I'm taking Moss.
D-Dubs, we'll go back to you. You're right. 7 seasons, so 21-14. Receiving yards, Moss is about 600 behind, about 550 behind. Receiving yards, Rice has him by about 7. So if you extrapolate it for about 7 more seasons, give Moss 100 catches every year. They're about equal when it comes to, on average and things of that nature. I just want one thing from you. Who would you take in a 1-game scenario? We're not talking about team concept.
I said Moss.
Okay.
Because I've seen that West Coast offense. I've seen Jerry Rice catch a lot of 5 to 10 yard passes, taking 80 yards because he's outrunning everyone. I still remember that Charles Demery game where he had 5 touchdowns and none of them was against Prime. I sat there and watched that game. He stayed away from Dion, and he caught 5 touchdown passes against the Falcons, and none of them were against Prime. So I mean, he had Montana, he had Young, he had Rathman, he had an all-star cast around him.
That was weird. Prime really never did get to lock up Jerry that much. It was weird.
Nope.
Like, but when they played Dallas, he was on Michael Irvin, and Michael Irvin never shied away from it. That's why I was like, you know what? I like that dog in Michael Irvin. Hey, Willie, your thoughts here. Look, first of all, I guess let me get everybody on the record. Who had the better career, Moss or T.O.? Or Rice? OG, real quick.
So, hey, Will, me?
Yeah. Who had the better
I'm
career?
going Moss.
No, who had the better career?
Oh, Rice.
Okay.
Ain't even close.
D-Dubs?
Rice.
I mean, because I'm a championship guy, so like, I mean, and he was a key ingredient in that. It wasn't like he was a non-factor. I mean, he played a big role in those wins.
Yeah, he had the 1 Super Bowl MVP as well. Hey, Willie, who's the better talent? If you had 1 game to win, who you going with?
Well, the better talent is Moss. If I'm in the minority, if I had 1 game, I'm going Rice. And the reason why is because the thing about Moss with him, and when we talk about this, you put it in basketball terms when I be scouting. Sometimes when guys have the athletic cheat code, they don't come engaged every time. So the thing with Moss, you have to wonder sometimes is this the game where he's going to say, I play hard when I feel like it? So with Jerry Rice, I never, ever, ever have to worry about that. So for me, I don't have to worry about level of engagement. I don't have to worry about setting the tone for the rest of the teammates. I don't have to worry about if this dude really, really cares about this. So with that, I don't have to worry about is this dude going to max out. So for me, it would be Jerry Rice.
Fair enough. Good points there. I just like the fact that Randy Moss was on another man's podcast. It's like, I'm gonna take Randy Moss first.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, then I'll take you, host, on your show. You might be second, and then of course he causes the firestorm with Jerry Rice 3rd or 4th. So a lot of people were killing Randy Moss. And, look, Jerry Rice trolled him the way that I would probably troll him too, which is you can kiss these rings and look at the numbers in my longevity and how you were booted out of everywhere you went, which is true, being a malcontent.
They're all divas.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, yeah.
As I say that, I love Randy Moss.
Especially Rice at the end of his career. You're right about that.
Yeah, because he didn't want to go sit down somewhere, and I still a little feel some kind of way him coming to Seattle and putting on Steve Largent's jersey, but that's another conversation.
Go ahead, hey Willie, real quick.
No, I was just saying I love Randy Moss, by the way, because you know how people, when you take one or the other, they take it like, oh, you don't like the other guy. Two things can be true.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good point there. And when it comes to quotes and, just being good for the media, it's all about Randy Moss. Real quickly, go to Randy Moss's old team, New England Patriots, missing the playoffs for the first time since 2008. Any surprises here, guys? And what do you thought?
Who saw that coming?
I know we're gonna get to you, Joe. We're gonna let you gloat. What are your thoughts on the rest of the league sort of having fun with this? And Paolo, it's like a really big story. First of all, it tells you how good they are. They won 11 straight divisions, 16 of 17, something like that. Will that ever be done again?
The division was straight trash. But go on. It's been trash for years.
NFC East is trash too. Nobody can win it even back-to-back years.
So it ain't been trash for 20 years. There was a time when the NFC East dominated.
It's been trash for about 10 years.
Not 20. 10 is half.
It's been trash for about 10. And can somebody win it back-to-back years? Can somebody even get 500 in back-to-back years?
Yeah, man.
So don't talk to me about being trash when ain't nobody over 500 in the last 3 or 4 years, it seems like. But go ahead. Well, why is everybody
Speaking of 500, y'all guys ain't even 500 right now.
No, they might get the 500. Maybe. They might.
Yeah.
Joe, why are you taking pleasure in this, Derwin?
I told y'all. I told y'all. And y'all laughed at me. Y'all laughed at me in the very beginning. I told y'all. Don't put your eggs in that Cam Newton basket.
Okay.
Y'all were downright disrespectful.
Ooh, okay.
Y'all were disrespectful.
And
I'm not a Tom Brady apologist at no stretch. I could care less. But y'all sat up here and was talking to me like in September about how Cam Newton was going to come in there and win 10 to 12 games. So y'all are crazy.
So the opt-outs had nothing to do with it. The 8 opt-outs.
We're not going to talk about opt-outs or your guy Orlowski, whatever you want to call him. It's Cam. He's not good.
Okay, so if you guys didn't even have a positive COVID test all year. You guys are living right, dog. You guys are living right out there in Seattle. What the hell are the Seahawks doing out there to live so right out there? They ain't got a damn positive COVID test. We had 8 opt-outs before the season started, Derwin. 8.
Okay, and
8 starters.
And that's your excuse?
Oh, okay.
You can have it.
Okay, you're right.
That don't help Cam. He's still 9 to 17, 112, 15 yards, like he playing a preseason game.
How many games did y'all win without Russell Wilson?
You got to throw to somebody.
How many games did y'all win without Russell Wilson?
Excuse me. My guy don't miss games.
I'm just saying.
My guy don't miss games.
If y'all have to start, could y'all win a game?
Yeah, we can win a game.
A game, maybe.
We can win a game.
Yeah, exactly.
A game.
Look at what we're saying. A games, and New England might win 8 without the greatest quarterback of all time.
So talk to your coach
and the receivers
and the receivers. A couple of those receivers receiving over 100 yards in receptions and yardage. So
about Cam,
when Cam is actually can get somebody the ball.
You talking about the immortal, the great Jacoby Myers, rookie free agent, used to be a quarterback at NC State. Is that what you're talking about?
So 1 week they trash, the next week they're good. Which is
they've always been trash. You talking about Gunnar Olszewski that went to the powerhouse of Bemidji State?
That dude ain't even.
You know what Bemidji State?
He's only returning kicks. He don't even be out there receiving passes.
You're damn right. He does play. Do you know where Bemidji State's at?
Minnesota.
No.
Oh, daggone it. Well, don't say anything. I'm trying to say it up.
But but hold on. So we're gonna sit here and act like Cam Newton was a doo-doo all year. He was trash.
He's been
trash all year.
But it does help to have guys to throw to. Oh, give me DK
He can't hit the side of a barn, dude. He's not good.
What?
Did you see the interception he threw against the Rams?
Sure, I've seen some Russell Wilson through this year too. I was like, what the hell is he doing? How many games?
They're not even the same.
How many games Russell Wilson? They might have almost the same amount of interceptions this year. Why you
They
playing?
not dude. Their portfolio, their resume are not even the same. Stop
it. One MVP for one and none for the other.
MVP
two
means
Super Bowl appearances
nothing.
and one for one.
Because I can name a couple of guys that got MVP that are nothing.
Who?
We got your boy in Baltimore. He's got an MVP. Whoop-de damn dude.
Lamar Jackson's nothing.
He's got an MVP. What has he done?
What
has he done?
Lamar's in.
He hasn't even won a playoff game.
What year in his career?
This is year 2, basically.
Exactly. So let's not talk about MVP because Aaron Rodgers has an MVP. I'm not going to talk about Aaron Rodgers in the same breath as Lamar Jackson.
He's been to one Super Bowl. One.
Okay, and
but
he's accomplished more.
Yeah, he's put up yards because he's in a passing offense.
At the end of the day,
they don't do that.
At the end of the day, after 12 years, 15 years, that MVP ain't gonna mean but so much if your body of work doesn't speak for itself. And you got a couple of guys.
Super Bowl champion means something, right?
You got a couple of guys like Cam Newton been in this league 9-10 years, and what has he accomplished?
How many games Russell Wilson winning when he's got Demir Bird, Jacoby Myers,
and great Gunnar Olszewski? Let's talk about facts. Let's talk about facts.
How many?
I don't know. You're hypothetical. I'm talking facts.
Do they go to the playoffs?
I'm talking facts.
I'm saying
you're making stuff up.
What do you think, Derwin? What do you think? What do you think?
What is the purpose of your question?
Because
what is the purpose of your question?
Look, if Russell Wilson had Gunnar Olszewski, Demir Bird, and Jacoby Myers as his 3 wide receivers, how many games do the Seahawks win?
They probably win more games than Cam Newton. I'm willing to bet that.
How many do they win?
I promise you that.
Okay, Dagwood.
I promise you that.
How many games do they win?
They win at least 500. At least.
Well, New England's gonna be damn near 500.
Dude,
So 79 and 8-8. That's a damn argument.
Hold on. When I said 79 and 8-8, what did you guys say?
I said 10 and 6. I said 10 and 6.
I said maybe 11 and 5.
Now, some of y'all were in here tweeting about 10 and 12 wins.
Nah, I think I said 10 and 6. If I'm not mistaken.
I said 10 and 6. Yeah.
Look here, man. Look here. Russell Wilson. How many games does he win?
We talking about Russell. I thought we were talking about the Patriots and missing the playoffs. What are we talking about here?
Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You know what Tom Brady would win with that same crew? I'll give him 12. See what I'm saying? That's a boss. That's a player. That's an all-time great. Russell Wilson, you claim is one. How many games is he winning with that receiving corps?
He's winning a lot of games.
Oh my God. New York Jets. You don't want to say it.
You
like these Republicans.
Time out.
We're not alleging voter fraud. We just want a business loan.
That's what you're not gonna jump off. You're not going to jump off and talk about the Jets. We're not finished with these Patriots.
He knows a judge will be like, get your ass out of here.
We are not finished with these Patriots.
He's just talking. Just let me argue. Yes or no? You're not alleged voter fraud, are you? Hell no. You ain't stupid. You ain't going to get disbarred or anything. You ain't doing that. You ain't dumb. Look at him. Got him. Jets.
You got me.
I did.
We finished with the Patriots?
I'm asking for 4 months, and you never will give me an answer.
What are you talking about?
Because you know he ain't gonna win that many games.
What are you talking about? You're crazy.
Let me do it in Spanglish this time, okay?
Dude.
We gotta hurry.
Doug Baldwin, Jermaine Kearse, none of those guys were household names. They weren't even drafted. And he won with all of them.
Better than Gunnar.
He won with all of them. He would win with the same guys that Cam Newton has right now.
Put your name on it.
10 games. He is going to win at least 10. At least. Because he's a way better quarterback.
Stop it, Coach.
Way better.
Cut his mic now.
Way
he's not talking
better quarterback.
He's done.
He ain't even close.
He's done. We're moving to the Jets.
Your man is done.
I can't believe you said that. 10 wins. You're going to win 10 games with that receiving corps.
Yes. Oh, and they were all undrafted guys. They weren't even drafted.
I know all 3 of them are undrafted.
They weren't even drafted. Hold on, time out. No, the Patriots guys were all drafted.
No, they weren't. No, Gunnar Olszewski's undrafted.
Hold on, Myers is undrafted?
Yes.
Harris is undrafted?
N'Keal Harry, he doesn't even play half the damn time.
Was he undrafted?
No, he was a first-round pick.
They guys were they
doesn't
drafted
play.
3 wide receivers.
No, Demir Bird, 7th round, dog. 7th round.
They 7th round, is that not part of the draft?
That's one. Gano Chester.
Drafted.
Jacoby Myers, free agent.
Derwin said, is
Baldwin-
that not part of the draft?
Doug Baldwin was not drafted.
I
Jermaine
know.
Kearse was not
You're
drafted.
talking about where they're starting from. I'm talking about where they're at. And right now, where they're at is not
You
very
can try
good.
to move the goalpost all you
Tom
want.
Brady was 199. Does
Russell
he play like
Wilson, when
199?
he started as a
Does he
rookie,
play like 199, Derwin?
he was throwing to undrafted wide
Does he play
receivers.
like 199? Huh? Does he?
Your man is
No.
trash.
No.
Cam Newton is straight trash, homie.
New York Jets
He
won.
ain't good.
New York Jets won a football game. I can't.
He
with
will
them
be
tonight.
on the couch next year like the rest of us. Because
So,
ain't nobody
so you
calling
saying
him.
they
That's what they
giving up
doing,
on him
Curtis.
again, Derwin?
Come on, man. Why would you call him back?
They're giving up,
what?
boy. This is what they do in Karnowski, guys. Jets win last Sunday.
Yeah, go to the Jets.
Jets.
You're done.
New York Jets got to win. They're 1-13. Gonna lose strength of schedule with the Jacksonville Jaguars if they finish tied. We've been talking about this for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks when that came out. How much does this set them back? And my thing is, look, it's probably going to hurt them in the long run. But right now, you got to play to win the game. I mean, you got professionals in there. These are grown men. We saw what Connor McGovern said last week. He was channeling his inner Jason Kelsey, which is you play to win the game. We're not here for checks. We're grown men. That's our job, is to go out there and win the game. So what are you guys' thoughts on the Jets winning, but actually losing at the same damn time? Winning today and hurting their future. Hey, Willie, since you haven't talked in a while, you've been back there laughing at Derwin. I'd laugh at his ass, too.
Well, my thing is this, to your point, you touched on it, LL. These dudes are professionals. And my point is this. If you are trying to play for the draft, you got to take it out of the players' hands. Don't have your best guys out there. You know, come up with feign some injuries. Teams do it all the time. Whatever it is you got to do, you know, say we're looking at younger guys, whatever it is, take it out of the players' hands. These dudes are competitive. They want to play. So if you can't put your best guys out there, and then especially when you play the Rams as well, because we know Jared Goff is you don't know which guy you're going to get. So this is a game where you might actually win. And sure enough, they hit him 8 times. Jared Goff became Jared Goff, and they win. So my thing is, if that's what you want to do, you take it out of the players' hands. And if that's what you want to do, but if you're going to play whatever your best configuration for your lineup is, if you're going to play that with these dudes being professionals, with these dudes being prideful, with these dudes not wanting to go 0-16, you subject yourself to this.
OG, did the Jets cost themselves by winning this game?
I mean, of course, one would only have to say that they did. I mean, I like the way Ed Willie broke it down like a true professional that's been in the rims of all that. I like the saying, looking at younger guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you got to do. I mean, let's not be naive to the fact that tanking is real. Like, I mean, and I do understand where they're coming from, where they're saying, they're professionals, they get paid to win the game. But when we're talking about trying to revive your organization, I don't know how you can pass up the
organization. You ain't from Canada, man. What you doing?
I just don't understand. I don't understand, like, how would you pass up the chance to get a talent like Lawrence? Like, I mean, so but the one thing that I think really when we start talking about drafting these quarterbacks, these young talented quarterbacks, is that you got to have somebody that's going to protect them. Joe Burrow came into the league and he's going to be really good, but he ran more times for the Bengals in the first few weeks than I ever seen him run at LSU his whole college career, beyond just LSU. But I mean, so it's a lot of things involved when you looking at getting a high caliber quarterback coming out of college. But if I was the Jets, I would have took that L. Like, I mean, again, I mean, because if you really look down the line, I mean, I don't know all the quarterbacks that's going to be coming out of college, in the next few years. But Lawrence, I mean, he's been a winner. He's a proven winner. I mean, prototype size, can run, can throw. I mean, he can do everything. So
I think he's lost 3 games since high school.
Yeah, I don't know how you pass
2 in
that
high
up.
school, one his whole career, and 1 in college.
Yeah, I don't know. As Jeff said, Jets not doing themselves any favor.
Derwin, if the Jets have to do it all over again, would they have a different result?
I have Jets fans that are friends I went to school with that are hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't believe that players suit up on Sunday to throw a game. So, and as A. Willie said, you got to take it out of their hands. Those boys, I watched some of that game. They was out there hitting people. They came to play. Those guys are not suiting up on Sunday they're not thinking about, oh, we got to lose this game so that we can get a high draft pick. They went out there and they balled. Honestly, I was feeling bad for Lawrence anyway, because if I had to choose between it, and I always pull for the New York teams, but the Jets organization has just not been good, man. I would rather see the young guy go to Jacksonville, to be honest with you. But the Jets, when you think about it, Jets and Jacksonville, the Jets are still in a better position. Jacksonville doesn't have a quarterback, period. They have no one. At least the Jets.
What about George, man? Gardner Minshew, dude.
I think he's done. I don't think he's the answer.
The league caught up.
Yeah, but at least with Darnold, you got to surround it with talent. They haven't done, and that's my problem with the organization. They haven't put anything around him, and then all the good players leave. They don't want any parts of it. So that organization needs to be stripped from the.
Your team benefited. You got a good Jets player on your team.
Yeah, I mean, that whole organization needs to be stripped from the top down to the bottom and redo that thing, because nobody seems to want to play there. They got a quarterback that could be possibly good, but he has.
We don't know.
We don't know. And
after more question marks, actually, it's been more bad. I mean, seeing Ghost against New England last year.
Yeah,
he's been hurt at mono. But that was good to see them get a win. So yeah. How about the Jacksonville Bears? Go ahead, A. Willie.
I was just going to ask D. What did Jamal Adams say, man, when they clinched the playoff spot? What did he say? I'm not used to feeling like this.
He was overjoyed.
I know.
He used to pack it up and going home.
Sure. I'm sure you guys.
Hey, that was the funniest press conference ever, man.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys saw the Jacksonville mayor. He thanked the New York Jets. He's ecstatic, welcoming Trevor Lawrence to Duval.
Hey, did y'all see the meme where Lawrence was saying, thanks to the New York Jets, I think I'm ready to leave college football.
Yeah.
I will say this though. There's 2 weeks left. Anything can happen.
Facts.
And just looking at the schedule, that week 17.
It'd be so Jets if they win at New England the last week of the season.
Oh man.
And week 17 is a real funny thing, because if guys ain't got nothing
especially
to
when you
play
got
for,
2 teams that ain't got nothing to play for.
They start resting guys.
Yeah.
They say, like, the Colts are on the Jaguars. I think they play 17. If the Colts go into that game with nothing to play for, and they decide to sit down Rivers and the rest of their guys, Jacksonville comes out there and wins. Anything's possible. So this is not a done deal yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, KG said it best, man. Anything is possible. You're right. College football playoff real quickly. Let's buzz through these real quickly. You got Alabama. You got Clemson. You got Ohio State and Notre Dame. Notre Dame got spanked. I'm having flashbacks of 2012 when they played Alabama. I'm having flashbacks when they played Clemson and got spanked in the college football playoff. I'm having flashbacks when they got spanked by Ohio State. All 3 teams in the college football playoff, Notre Dame has been spanked by in the last 7-8 years, and sometimes multiple times. I don't know if that was the right choice, but then again, what do? Do you put Texas A&M in there? I think Texas A&M is better than Notre Dame. They've already been spanked by Alabama. That 4th spot was always going to be something weird. Maybe you slide Cincinnati in there. Probably can't play Florida because Alabama just beat Florida, and Florida's already got 3 losses, although Florida's really damn good, as you can see. So I guess they were stuck with Notre Dame. Who's going to win this college football playoff, guys? Hey, Willie?
I hope Ohio State.
You hope? Why?
I do, because I like Justin Fields, and I want Justin Fields though, but I also want him to have a good performance in the CFP, because it's a testament to not having the season to the off season to really prepare with, in terms of what was going on in the Big Ten. But Justin Fields hasn't looked awesome this year so far. So I really want him to redeem himself and play well. I want them to win, but it's hard to go against Alabama. I think Alabama gets this thing done again.
Wow. I got Alabama as well. Derwin, who you got?
Clemson. And I think
it's hard to bet against them.
Alabama they're gonna beat the dog. You know what? Out of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I'm here for all of it.
Yeah. Hey, I also like what our Football Matters guy said about Ohio State too. So I'm interested in that game when he was putting them at 11.
Yeah. That was Dabo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dabo had him at 11, and I think Saban had him out of the top 5.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Saban can say and do whatever he wants. Alabama. I mean, they own this. I mean, of course, everybody else has been in the mix, but I mean, of course, y'all know who I'm going for, but it's going to be a tough task. But I mean, it's funny because in Ohio, it's a lot of people who love the Buckeyes, but it's a lot of people who don't like the Buckeyes. So my thing, because you got Michigan up the way and different things like that. And a lot of it is because from what I hear most of the time is that they don't take a lot of in-state players.
Yeah.
Like they do, but they don't. So it's a lot of kids that's in state that end up going out of state and become, good players at other colleges when they could have played at those states. But anyway, I want to have hope, but we got to be healthy though. We had a ton of players out, and I think full strength we might be able to give it a go. But man, football, man, college football is one in the South, man. The trenches, the D line, O line. I mean, when you look at SEC teams versus all the other teams, it's not even fair. And that's truly where they dominate. And I think we're going to have to come out and play lights out, and mainly on the offensive end if we're going to keep up with Alabama.
Exactly. I like Ohio State. I want to pick them against Clemson, but my problem is you guys haven't played anybody. And that worries me.
True.
I mean, you literally have not played anybody, and then the games that you have played, you didn't play anybody. So it's tough for Ohio State. But yeah, I think Bama is going to take this thing, man. It's going to be a nice final though. It'll be Alabama against Ohio State or Clemson. And I'm here for it, and I'll be watching that national championship after the new year. College football playoff, what is that, December 31st or January 1st? Which one is it? It's New Year's Day, right? Or New Year's Eve?
It's New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day.
Yeah, got it. Good
they
stuff.
need to revamp this whole thing, man, but that's another thing, another topic for another day.
We need probably 8 teams in there at least.
Yeah.
I think 8, you can't get it wrong with 8.
Yeah, you take the 5 Power 5s and the 3 at large. Absolutely.
Right.
Because right now it's Alabama, Clemson, and Ohio State the last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, it's boring now. Okay, nobody. It's basically come down to the BCS, who's going to be that 4th team to get in, because we know who the teams are. It's going to be that last team getting in. USA basketball national team.
Yes.
JBM got the MVP. They beat. Was the Dominican Republic, right? In the final?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
2 close games right there. But hey, man, pretty good for USA basketball on the esports stage this past weekend. What you got?
Yeah, definitely. The team was, composed of 7 players. 6 out of the 7 are, from the NBA 2K League. Had the only female player in the FIBA championships, and Wendy Fleming. They came out the first game against Puerto Rico. Who also boasted a lot of 2K League players. And I think it was one of those games where you kind of go in confident, and it kind of backfired. They lost the first game. Could have, still was a close game, could have won it, but lost. And from that point forward, they just built momentum and just went through wiping everybody out. Had a tough game in pool play against the Dominican Republic before the championship. And they came back and stole that game, actually, because they were down. Then they moved on to the championship and played the Dominican Republic again. 2 close games. We're talking 5 points or less. In each one of those games. 3 in one point
and 4 in the other. So 7 total points. Yeah.
So it's a great moment for our esport. I mean, first time the United States participating. It actually had been going on before, but this was our first time in it. I mean, and they did a great job. Black Frank White, who was the NBA 2K League community ambassador, he was a part of the selection committee. Wizards District gaming head coach Patrick Cross, and he was part of the process. Jelani Mitchell, head coach for Utah Jazz Gaming, and Ariel Powers, the rounded out that they were a part of the selection process. They put the team together, and then Jeff Terrell, and Cody Parent. Jeff being from 76ers GC and Cody Parent being Pacers. From Pacers Gaming. They coached the team, and that team. JBN, which we mentioned, was the player of the game, but yeah, Ramo, Kenny got work, Crushy, Original Malik, and Rhea. So it was pretty talented team. They got the job done, and I really can't wait to see how this event goes going forward. I mean, someday when we can get back to the point where we're all in the same room, having, I think, an event like that being live when you got players from all over the world, and I think it would just be great for our esports. So hopefully we get a chance to see that. But it was a great event. The commentator, it was different watching other commentators do 2K games. They were phenomenal. The production was great. It was a good time. I think everybody a part of the 2K community was glued to their screen and really rooting on Team USA as they brought it on.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. We talked about those two games, close games. Didn't need that third game, so they swept Dominican Republic to win the title. So good stuff there. Durban, Willie, any thoughts, man, before we get out here? Any thoughts on the national team, USA basketball?
USA.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. Exactly.
Get me ready for the Olympics next year.
I see.
Yeah, big talk. I think it was big talks about that. I think a lot of people see that coming.
We're going to be some esports in one of those Olympic games in 2022. Was it the Shanghai Games or something like that? One of these, the China, some Olympic, structure or some sort of. It's not the Olympics, but it's some sort of games that there's going to be esports in. I saw some people tweeting about it and in LinkedIn and Instagram last week. No, not Goodwill. It's something else. Shanghai. It's something else. Somebody help me out. It's some other country, some other smaller, but they're gonna have esports in it. We'll come up and find it next time. I don't know what the hell it is, but real quick, we'll compete for everyone. Black News Channel episode 30 this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. Episode 30. Compete for everyone Madden League season 53 playoffs. I believe it is NFC up first. Yes. So Durban was a part of that. Myself and former Bengals linebacker Brandon Bell. That's Saturday and Sunday this weekend. So 4 times, total 2 times each day, 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, Sunday, Black News Channel on Dish Network, Comcast, Xfinity. What else we got? We got DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, and Charter Spectrum cable system, if I'm not mistaken. So check it out this weekend, channel 342 on DirecTV. Saturday, Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, episode 30. The Madden League, Compete Forever Madden League, season 53. The playoffs start this weekend, and it is the NFC, AFC next week, then divisional, and then the championship games and Super Bowl in 3 weeks from now. So we'll see this thing sort of play out with 14 teams, and it starts with the NFC this weekend. Any final thoughts before we get out here, guys? Let's go.
Happy holidays.
Yes,
Merry Christmas. That's right. This is our only episode.
Only show.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Yep. Love you guys.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Shout out Keontae Johnson getting out of the hospital.
Yes.
So definitely want to say that. And check out my show on Vocal. Antonio.
When is it? When does it come out, man?
It's one out today. It just dropped. VOKAL, like Nelly was, Vocal.
Okay.
You can catch it. You can, go to Vocal Now, VOKALNOWnow.com. You can subscribe to it. It's also on iTunes as well, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Who was on the show today?
You got to go see, but it's my boy Mike the Truth Jackson. He's a UFC fighter.
Oh, nice.
Great dude.
When you gonna have Durant on there, man, to talk crap to him about the Seahawks?
We are. So I just texted D. We'll do that soon. We'll probably get on NFL playoffs and talk about some stuff. We got a pretty good show that we're going to talk about that I think some people will be spirited about.
What about OG to talk about the 2K league? You gotta have OG on
Definitely doing that. Definitely doing that as well.
All right.
And you coming on there, LL?
No, you don't want me on there, dude. I'm a waste of time. Coach K, we got to have him on to talk about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, we need some real lessons there.
You need to have Larry on there complaining about milkshakes.
I poured out some for the homie this weekend. I was pour out a little milkshake, and people were looking at me like, "You gonna buy a $30 milkshake and just pour it out?"
It's all Roy.
This is for my homie.
This is for my homie.
I get there in that gangster lean and that gangster lean.
Shout out DRS.
My God.
I'm back freshman year, I think, sophomore year, something like that.
What is this? What is it? Video soul?
Video soul. Wow.
Johnny
Sherry Carter. Hey, Sherry. Madeline.
Ooh la la. All right, good stuff, guys. Real deal, man. Have a blessed week, guys. Merry Christmas to you guys, each of your families. Kiss those beautiful wives and those babies for me. OG, all your chicks, you can kiss them all for me as well. I'm Larry Ridley. Get out of here, Coach K. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you next Tuesday right here, esportsXTRA, only live call and sports show. Talking traditional sports, esports, and gaming next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make it a good one.